The exposed truth. Leah Jenkins stood by the champagne fountain, her designer dress catching the light from the crystal chandeliers. The annual River City Charity Gala was her favorite event of the season. Not for the causes it supported, but for the networking opportunities it provided. "Did you see who they let in this year?" Leah whispered to her friend Vivian, nodding toward Tiana Brooks. Tiana was new to town, a brilliant architect whose firm had recently won the contract to redesign the city's cultural center. "Can you believe she thinks she belongs here?" Leah continued, her voice dripping with disdain. "That dress is probably the most expensive thing she owns. Bet she's just here to make connections for more contracts." Vivian shifted uncomfortably as Leah pulled out her phone to take a selfie, unaware that she had accidentally started a live broadcast to the event's social media page, which was being projected on screens throughout the ballroom. The screen behind Leah flickered to life with her face prominently displayed. "These diversity hires are getting out of hand," she continued, sipping her champagne. "Someone should tell her that talent, not skin color, gets you places in this town." Guests began to turn toward the projection, conversations halting mid-sentence. The event coordinator, Marcus, frantically signaled to his team, but the damage was already done. Tiana stood frozen near the art auction, her glass of water suspended halfway to her lips. The room seemed to tilt as she heard Leah's words echoing through the speakers. "Look at her trying to fit in," Leah laughed, completely oblivious to the horrified expressions around her. "Next thing you know, she'll be asking to join the country club." Vivian finally noticed the commotion and tugged at Leah's sleeve. "Leah, stop. You're live." Leah turned, confusion crossing her face. "What do you mean I'm?" Her eyes widened as she finally spotted her own image projected for everyone to see. The room fell into a thick, uncomfortable silence. Tiana placed her glass down carefully, took a deep breath, and walked toward the center of the ballroom. Her steps were measured, her head held high. "May I have everyone's attention, please?" Tiana spoke with remarkable composure. The microphone was handed to her without hesitation. "I believe we've all just witnessed something that happens far too often, though usually not so publicly." Leah's face had drained of color. She attempted to back away, but found herself surrounded by disapproving stares. "Ms. Jenkins," Tiana continued, making direct eye contact with Leah, "you don't know me. You don't know that I graduated top of my class at Cornell. You don't know that I've designed buildings in 12 countries. You don't know that I donated $50,000 to tonight's cause last year." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Tiana raised her hand slightly, and they quieted. "What you saw was only the color of my skin, and you decided that was enough to judge my worth. That's not just hurtful to me, it's harmful to our entire community." Tiana's voice remained steady, without a hint of anger. "I don't want your apology right now. What I want is for everyone in this room to recognize this moment. This is what racism looks like. It's not always violent or obvious. Sometimes it's dressed in designer clothes at charity events, questioning whether people like me belong." She handed the microphone back and returned to her place by the auction items, leaving the crowd in stunned silence. Within minutes, the video had spread throughout River City's elite circles. Phones buzzed with notifications as people shared and commented on what they'd witnessed. The charity board huddled in a corner, debating their response. Several donors approached Tiana, expressing their support and admiration for her poise. Meanwhile, Leah retreated to a secluded alcove, her face flushed with embarrassment and anger. "This is ridiculous," she hissed to Vivian. "They're making me out to be some kind of monster. I was just making an observation." "Leah, what you said was wrong," Vivian replied firmly. "Oh, so you're against me too now? Everyone's so politically correct these days. You can't say anything without people overreacting." Outside the gala, protesters began to gather. News vans pulled up as reporters caught wind of the incident. The president of the River City Business Association approached Leah with a stern expression. "Ms. Jenkins, as a board member of several community organizations, we expect better. We need to talk about your positions. The following week was the worst of Leah's life. She resigned from 3 boards. Her interior design clients began canceling contracts. Her son refused to speak to her. Even her doorman gave her cold looks. "This is so unfair," Leah complained to her sister, Dana. "One mistake and my life is over." Dana slid a book across the table. "Read this. Then call me." Reluctantly, Leah began reading personal accounts of racial discrimination. Stories that mirrored her comments at the gala. With each page, her defensiveness cracked. That Sunday, she attended a community discussion about race at the local university. She sat in the back, listening more than speaking. When she finally raised her hand, her voice trembled. "I never thought of myself as racist. I have black colleagues. But hearing these stories, I realize I've been judging people based on assumptions, not their character. I've been part of the problem without even knowing it." For the first time, Leah felt the full weight of her words at the gala. 2 weeks after the incident, Tiana received an unexpected email requesting a meeting. She agreed, choosing a public cafe near her office. When Leah arrived, she looked different, humbler, without the usual air of superiority. "Thank you for meeting me," Leah said, settling into her chair. "I've spent days trying to find the right words." "I'm listening," Tiana replied, her expression neutral. "What I did was inexcusable. I've been examining why I said those things, and the truth is ugly. I've carried biases I didn't even recognize." Leah placed a folder on the table. "This isn't just an apology. It's action." Inside was documentation of a new scholarship fund Leah had established for minority students pursuing architecture, along with a resignation letter from her position at the zoning board that had historically blocked development in predominantly black neighborhoods. "I'm not asking for forgiveness or praise. I'm committed to the work," Leah added. The next month, at the Cultural Center groundbreaking ceremony, Tiana invited Leah to attend. As Tiana addressed the crowd about her vision for an inclusive space, she acknowledged Leah. "Transformation is possible when we confront uncomfortable truths. This center will stand as a place where all voices are valued and heard." Later, as they stood looking at the architectural models, a local student approached them. "Are you the ladies from that video? The one that started the community dialogues?" They nodded. "Those conversations changed our school. Thank you both for showing us what courage looks like, both in standing up and in admitting when you're wrong." Tiana and Leah exchanged glances, recognizing that their painful public moment had sparked something necessary and real in River City. The foundation for change had been laid, brick by difficult brick.